This video will look at blocks in Python programming. A block is where several lines of codes can be grouped together in a block. And in every line of a block, it begins with at least a number of spaces as the first line in the block. And you can tell where a block begins and ends by looking at the number of spaces at the front of the lines. This is a line's indentation. Now, Python programmers typically use 4 additional spaces of indentation to begin a block. Any following line that's indented by that same amount is part of the block. The block ends when there's a line of code with the same indentation as before the block started. They can also be blocks within other blocks. Let's have a look at this table. In the above table, we can see that line 12 has no indentation, and it isn't inside a block. We can tell that it isn't inside any block, or it's not, it doesn't have any indentation because there's no spaces beginning that line. Line 13, however, we can see here has 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces of indentation. As the line is indented more than the previous line, we can say that a new block starts here, which is block 1. Now, every line following this one with the same amount of indentation or more is considered to be part of the same block. For example, block 1. Now, if you encounter, or if Python encounters another line with less indentation than the block's first line, the block is basically ended. And blank lines, like you see in line 16, are ignored. Line 18 has an indentation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces, which means it's starting a new block called 2. This block is inside block 1, but the next line, line 20, is indented by only 4 spaces. And because the indentation has decreased, you know that the line 18's block 2 has ended. And because line 20 has the same indentation as line 13, you know it's still part of the block 1. So that's sort of the primary block, and we know that block 2 is actually inside block 1. If we have a look at line 21, it increases the indentation to 8 spaces again. So we know another new block has started, and we'll call this block 3. Line 23, we exit block 3 and we exit, at line 24, we enter the final block within a block, block 4. And both block 1 up here and block 4 end on line 24. I hope this video has given you some insight into what blocks are in Python programming.